knew what he was signing up for.
We're done here.
We haven't even scratched the surface. Silco's still out there.
Do you not understand? I am part of this now. The next parents who get a message their kid isn't coming home, I don't even know where to take it. Do we just leave him here?
You've always been a part of this. You just never had to look it in the eye. One dead kid? There's hundreds more where he came from, thanks to Silco and thanks to people like you who stuck their heads in the dirt.
This is over.
Not for me.
Take those off.
Make me.
I can't let you leave with them.
Then I guess you're gonna need to kill another trencher.
哦，别这么说。他不想再有任何伤害了。Jace。
You won't make it alone.
这下他就是也双手沾满了鲜血了，但是就像外说的，就算没有直接导致很多人的牺牲，或者说是就是家破人亡，但是至少间接的，他们这些议会什么的也有责任吧。尤其对于他们祖安城的这些人，其实都多少有就是间接的一些伤害造成。哦，他的工厂。
Been a while since Topside's gotten this bold.
Say what you want about the late sheriff. He had his uses.
Too bad Jinx didn't think so.
We'll buy another.
You gotta do anything about that piece of shit that murdered my boy. Let me guess.
哦，是他的孩子。
Just like she's been taking care of everything else.
We all mourn the loss of your son, Rennie. At least we have the solace of knowing he died fighting for our cause, instead of some petty personal dispute, as so often occurs here.
You're one to talk about sacrificing for the cause. Where is Jinx anyhow?
Help her with the body.
他还在给他暗示，我觉得他不是那么好背叛的。哦 ，Sky，Sky， 这到底是已经死了吗？他是已经化为尘土了，还是？
Victor, I know this will probably never see the light of day, but watching how you work so tirelessly to make the world a better place, well, I couldn't forgive myself if I didn't try. Everyone's got to do their part, right?
他也在研究那个草。他要跟他对着干。哦，他会不会心智已经受到库尔的影响了，所以就是不去反抗他？ 有点感觉像是他的一部分已经跟库尔是一体的了。
Noxian wine is bold by comparison. The grapes are hardened by the climate, but then so is everything that manages to survive in Noxus. Mel, would you like...
Leave. Stay away from James.
笑了一下。
You really are complicated.
Better yet, march back to your ship and get the hell out of my city.
Get hold of yourself. I taught you better. You're in trouble, Mel. The man who killed your brother doesn't believe the score is settled, and his resources exceed ours. If there is a chance,
所以
it can be
他才来找
weaponized, we
Mel.
must have it.
Piltover isn't your testing ground.
I've only accelerated a process you started.
I wanted to protect the city from people like you. I can't believe you'd start a war just to cover your ass.
I would set the world ablaze to protect our family.
I stopped being part of this family the moment you cast me out.
Mel 真的好硬气。
Why did you do it?
Because you weakened me. I couldn't endure the look in your eyes whenever I made the decisions.
就是把他
decisions to keep us safe.
等于说是软肋，所以让他支走，这样的话自己的决策才不会被他影响。
We need that weapon, Mel. Let the war unfold. Then you come home.
这样也
take
动
your
摇了
place at my
Mel。
side. It's where you belong.
哦，别。Mel 明明有自己还想完成的目标，在这个城市。
I'm sorry. I don't know where you'd been.
哦，是 Sky 的尘土。
I'm sorry.
“他也想跳吗？就像 Jace 以前一样。”哦，这一回他把他叫住了。
Remember the Distinguished Innovators Competition?
I remember you notching gears in the carriage over.
They started cranking the engine and the whole thing was rattling. I thought a loose cog was going to take someone's eye out.
At least you didn't throw up.
Everything made sense then.
You have to destroy it.
I know.
The hex core. I can't.
哦 ，Victor，
You have to.
他明明才靠他能跑起来，但是他还是要狠下这个心。
What about your disease? Without the hex core?
Promise me.
Okay. Okay. I promise.
We lost ourselves. We lost our dream. In the pursuit of great, we failed to do good.
哦，但是他们现在又重新回到了他们最开始的第一步，就是想要结束自己的这个念头，他们又回归了初衷了。还没有造反啊！
When you took Founder out of play, I thought now here's the man who understands what it takes to run an enterprise. The attitude, the instinct, the eye. The whole package you were. Always 2 steps ahead. But time's lapped you, old man.
You with him, are you?
You're screwed up, Silco.
You're too young to remember what the Undercity was before it became an enterprise. We had nothing. You know what bore us through those times? Loyalty. Brothers and sisters back to back against whatever the world threw at us. Now I'm forced to share the air with parasites like you, who leech off their legacies.
Today's the day you die, Silco.
That's a risk I've known all my life. But I still believe in loyalty.
哦，他就是 loyalty。我一点没手软。
I would have had your son killed for this, though I suppose we're ahead on that account. Get out.
哦，
Were you tempted?
Not for a worm like him.
感觉他们更像是注重一些，就是眼前的利益。我觉得塞维卡应该他是明白的，就是 Silco 他的这个价值所在，但是还是太狠了，我去。哦，好漂亮啊！我去，
Perfect place for an ambush. And you without your hammer.
他不想再带来伤害了。
I was reminded recently of what brought us together in the first place. The threats beyond our walls.
This city has a short memory.
现在有一些外来的
Yes.
威胁了。
Far be it from me to stand in the way.
Free trade routes, blanket amnesty, unrestricted access to the Hexgate sovereignty. You really think
谈判
to demand all this?
I give you credit for your stunt. Boy, didn't think you had the stomach. But the big display followed by a request for parley. You're tipping your hand. You're afraid.
I am afraid. Today I got a glimpse of what war between us might look like. Your people wouldn't stand a chance. Council couldn't care less. I'm trying to save you from annihilation.
Well, well. Not the fresh-faced Academy pledge, are you? You want peace. This is the price.
You'll discontinue the production of Shimmer.
Half there already.
Return the gemstone. And I need Jinx. She has to pay for what she's done.
雷区。
They weren't her crimes.
哦，Silco。
Believe me, if I had it my way, it'd be you rotting in Stillwater. But we can't make a deal with a snake and cut off its head. We both have our shitty parts to play. Get me Jinx, and I'll give you your nation of Zaun.
让他做这个选择，我觉得他会优先 Jinx。他不能抛下 Jinx 吧？哦，是他们的暗号，应该是。
you say all this came about in your own brief lifespan? How were you able to accomplish so much?
哦，
You'd be surprised what you can pull off when your life depends on it.
Why this form? Surely there are more efficient and safer methods of transportation.
哇，哦，
It's not enough to give people what they need to survive. You have to give them what they need to live.
Echo，
1,000 times I've imagined this moment. Never like this. All we ever wanted. The boy didn't even haggle.
Wander 的蜡烛吗？
What do I lose but problems? Oh, it all makes sense now, brother. Is there anything so undaring as a daughter?
他现在明白 Wander 当时的妥协了吗？哦，
Piss off.
哦，直接昭告他们，就是我给你们工厂打烂的。又是他们俩要对招了吗？哦，好野啊！什么西部牛仔的感觉吗？哦，已经不是上次交手的那样的战局了。一边打一边喝酒。哦，俩战神。啊！Shimmer 大战那个 Hextech。
Well, your guard needs work.
别让我。
I wish I could say it gets easier, kiddo. But I'd be lying. What I can say is, she still needs you. They all do. So what do you say? That's my girl.
已经进入黑暗了。就还真正的威力。哦。妈，他已经筋疲力尽，别再虐他。啊！别这样。我，他不会已经解决 Caitlyn 了吧？哦。
I'm not fit to govern the people who live there. And neither are you. Our opportunity to demonstrate our compassion, our dedication, our solidarity passed. They're right not to trust us.
You're walking a fine line, Jace.
With respect, I don't give a shit what any of you think of me anymore. Except you. You were right. You were always right. My days here are numbered, but I've come with Victor.
Aww.
And a Zonite, with one final proposal.
Jace has brokered a peace with Silco in exchange for the Undercity's independence.
What nonsense!
那他是要交出 Jinx 吗？没有，他犹豫了吗？想到了自己的家族吗？他母亲的话。
Really thought I buried this place.
Oh.
But I should have known better.
Powder?
Nothing ever stays dead.
他就说 Powder 已经死了。
Are we alone?
For now. Maybe forever. Wanna know a secret? Silco thinks he made Jinx. With all his rants and hard-won lessons. Excise your doubts, Jinx.
Jinx 是他自己铸就的自己。
But he didn't make Jinx. You did.
哦。
I'm sorry.
那 Jinx 他感觉精神
I never meant to leave you.
就是在外走之后开始变的。
I always heard you. Shadows in the streets. Prickles on the back of my neck. Your voice pushing me, picking me up when all the colors were black. You're the reason I'm still alive.
I spent so many nights in that shitty prison on that freezing floor, hungry, bloody, counting the hours. The only thing that kept me going was the thought of getting back to you.
Are we still sisters?
Nothing is ever going to change that.
I always knew you'd come back.
What's going on?
他把 Silco 也。
He took everything from us. Right here, he stabbed Vander in the back. Just like he planned to with me. All the time saying you abandoned me when he knew the truth. Liar. We're missing someone. I paid your girlfriend.
哦，别！
What did you do?
I made her a snack. Sheesh, I'm not that crazy.
就是 Why the cupcake？
Powder! Leave her out of this.
哦，
Now, where should I sit? That's your choice, really. Please.
还让他杀死
You're on her way in.
K。
And you can have Powder back.
I can't. No! Powder, listen. We can just go. We'll leave and never come
哦，
back.
别呀！
Where would we go? No. She's not saying that.
It's true. We'll put this behind us. You'll never have to see him again, Powder.
What do you have to say about that?
Her name is Jinx. She's lying. You'll be with her a day before she realizes you aren't that girl anymore and turns her back on you.
You aren't lying. You wouldn't lie to me.
哦，
I'm not lying.
这简直就是两头扯。Jinx 本身精神状态就不好。
We're talking.
The Topsiders offered me everything. Independence, a seat at the table. All in return for you. They can all burn.
哦，Silco。
Princess Jinx, Vander, her. They will never understand. It's only us.
小可真的是愿意为了 Jinx 抛弃掉他的梦想，他的一切。
Forsake you.
Drop the gun!
还有那个碎片把它割开了。哦。
Please.
Ah!
Drop the gun. Wait! She's my sister. Vi, she's too far gone.
他还有别的招儿。啊！因为已经有 shimmer 了。
You see, now finish it.
Damn it, Powder! Wake up!
哦。
Who you are, I know! You remember! Picture Milo!
哦。
Stop, Vander!
Don't listen to her!
Yeah,
哦。
Powder? It's okay. We'll be okay.
哦，他选择了。
I thought maybe you could love me like you used to. Even though I'm different. But you changed too. So, here's to the new us.
I am the monster you created. You ripped out all my parts. Worst of all, for me to live, I gotta kill the part of me that saw.
Kill the part of me.
Needed you more. I hope you know.
他们曾经还说要让这个城市尊重他们。
I support Councillor Talus's proposal.
他放下了自己的家族。哦，是从下面往上面发出的这么一击。哦，他还在坚守着袖口。哦，已经是金色了，已经是 Piltover 的颜色。明明他们都已经想要和平了，却在这个时候。已经太晚了。哦，什么意思？就是一会他们所有人都要死了吗？哦。回想第3集，我肯定不会想到 Silco 死的时候，我居然就哭的也这么的伤心吧。觉得最后 Powder Jinx 他的这个选择，感觉却是注定的，悲剧中注定的产物一样。就是在这一切的矛盾混沌中，就会诞生出像 Jinx 他的混沌的一面，想要把这一切毁于一旦的这么一面。最后他发射出这一抹蓝色，就像是一颗流星一样划过天际，也代表着他作为就是 左安城对于上城的这么一个反击，这是他就是打响这个反击的号角。而正在此时的议会的大家正已经要同意着就是跟就是地下城独立的这么一个和平条约了，但是这个时候悲剧已经在所难免了，所有曾经的一切都酿就了这一刻这个爆炸。我觉得 Arcane 它真的是塑造出了一个并不是非黑即白的世界吧，不管是上城还是下城，他们都有可能有着过错，也有着自己珍视的人，即使是所谓的恶人，也有他们想要守护的东西。很喜欢前面一幕，就是 Jace 他在就是自己双手也沾满鲜血之后，就是和 Victor 他们俩重新谈心的这么一幕吧。他跟 Victor 他们本身都是一心想着科研，想要着进步，想让整个城市都变得更好，但是这一步的错就酿造了无法挽回的人命。一个是这个就是地下城的小孩，还有一个就是 Sky。他们俩都是无辜的性命，但是却在他们二人的这个追求下成为了这个牺牲品。他们两个人现在都是要背负着自己曾做过的过错，这样自己负罪前行吧。然后这个时候 Victor 他也想要自杀，但是这个时候是 Jace 叫住了他。而 Jace 呢也很有意思，就是一听到说要把它毁掉，想到的是锤子，因为正是因为这个锤子让他就是下了杀手嘛，所以呢他也想要毁掉锤子。而 Victor 他也想要毁掉那个 core， 即使那个 core 给他带来了他根本无法想象的就是双腿的这个力量，能治好他的病，能够让他性命有所延缓，但是他还是要下定决心把它给毁掉，不能让他再继续掌控自己。我很喜欢就是这一集看到了一些 Mel 他所就是经历的思想斗争吧。他母亲应该也是非常爱着就是他哥哥还有他的，把他支走也是相当于不让他干扰自己的这个判断力吧。但是 Mel 他显然就是对于就是自己被家族赶出去啊什么的这些事儿，他一直是耿耿于怀的。这也是成为了他为什么想要在 Piltover 立足，想要有一番事业的这个核心的原动力吧。我觉得他母亲的话多少可能有让他有一些小动摇，但是最后他还是选择了坚持了自己的信念理念，坚持了自己的作风，他不要战争，还要守护住这个 Piltover 的这个城市的和平。然后也是在他本身就是象征着他们家族那一派的红色的帆船画上面，就是泼满了就是 Piltover 的金色，真的也是非常非常帅气的一位女性角色。我觉得很有意思的是，他们家族的这个他母亲这个时候的出现，其实也是给整个故事添加了就是另外一股就第三方的势力吧，相当于。现在就是 Piltover 他们真的是面临很大的危机，就可能他们现在需要更多的团结，就是一致对外，就是去抵抗一些对外势力之类的。我觉得这可能在下一季还会就是更多展开吧。我很喜欢看到就是 Silco 他在 Vander 应该算是坟墓那块儿吧，那一段就是明明他们曾经的梦想Jace 一口就已经答应了，但是他现在已经深刻的明白了 Vander 当时的那种妥协吧，就是已经有了自己想要守护的家人，这是他绝对不会给出让出的就是底线。在 Silco 他也是就是像当年 Vander 一样，他有了犹豫，他有了甚至可以舍弃梦想而去守护的事物，就是 Jinx， 就是他的这个养女嘛。地下城很多地方都乱成一锅粥，让很多人受于Shimmer这个苦。Silco 同时也是上城人的这个眼中钉吧，但是归根到底，最后他只是想成为一个就是好父亲，想做一个溺爱着自己女儿、无条件支持自己女儿这样的一个父亲。看到就是 Vi 和 Powder 他们两个人就是互诉自己对彼此的这个思念之情，如何支撑着他们度过之前的生活，真的就是太虐心了。他们明明是如此的思念着对方，然后呢如此靠着对方这样活下去，日积月累无数个夜晚都是这么度过的，但是最后所面对的却是这样的一个局面。还有就是 Jinx 他让 Vi 去选择让他做 Jinx 还是做 Powder， 就 Jinx 他一直以来真的就一直想成为像 Vi 他所认可的人，小时候就是如此，长大还是这样。他更想让 Vi 能够接受就是现在已经改变了的他，之前就能看出来他早就想对 Caitlyn 下手了嘛，但是他一直没有自己动手，原来是让 Vi 自己亲自动手，就类似于证明给他看。我也能理解就是 Vi 他感觉并不能很能接受就是这样的妹妹，虽然她一直都很宠溺就是 Powder。 当然我觉得就是可能更好的选择是 Y 能够去先接受这样子的 Jinx， 然后呢再可能有一些伤口愈合的这么一个过程，然后慢慢的可能有一些改变。但是 Y 呢，我觉得他就是直接将这一切都归结于是 Silco 的问题，所以他一直也是如此的执着嘛，不管自己有多累，就是想打趴 Silco。但其实 Powder 有一部分已经一去不复返了。明明两个人都是身心俱疲，有着很大的创伤，却如今不能在一起相互的取暖安抚彼此，而是这样子将彼此的伤口这样子大大的撕开。就是 Y 最后说出那些人名，包括画面上出现的这些人，一直以来在 Jinx 他脑海中的这些阴影，就不断的在刺激着 Jinx， 他们都是 Jinx 他所有的创伤和精神不稳定的这个来源，或者他心灵上的每一个伤口，就这样刺痛他。这个时候 Silco 就一直说别听他讲，我觉得 Silco 他是明白的，就是这对于就是 Jinx 是多大的这个伤害，而且事实也是不可能就是说把 Silco 直接解决了 Jinx 就能完全变回 Powder， 变回他们俩都能回到以前那样的时光，那都是不切实际的。但是最后在所有这个精神压力下， Jinx 他还是下意识或者说他潜意识以来一直都是如此，就是去保护了 Y。 当时 Silco 已经拿起那个枪了嘛，想让 Y 住嘴。也正是 Silco 的这个词真的让 Jinx 成为了一个新生吧，区别于最开始 Silco 把他溺在水里，当时就是所谓的重获新生，其实此时才是真正的新生。就这个时候他已经不再是 Powder， 也不是 Jinx 了，他就是他自己，他坐在那个位置上，他已经不需要去为了谁而成为什么样的人了。同时他也杀死了自己 Powder 的那一面，现在的他更是这个破坏的集合体吧。因为做回 Powder 会让他就是想起自己很多痛苦的事情。这个时候 Silco 死的时候跟他说就是你是完美的，这个时候他一定是非常非常后悔的。我觉得他一定在这个时候意识到了 Silco 绝对是全然的爱着他的，就是全身心无条件的是支持他的，支持他做自己，不管是 Jinx Powder 就是你就是完美的。现在这个结尾就是真的是将这种权力的对立、双城的对立，包括这个亲情的对立都拉到了一个顶峰。但是这一切的开端其实已经说不清楚了。如果不是上下城的这个矛盾，当时的 Vander 怎么会带着大家去起义？如果没有起义的话 ，Y 和 Powder 都还就是父母都还健在，后面的一切也都不会发生。这其中就是牵扯的太多，已经并不是很简单的谁对谁错就能说清了。现在 Powder也已经要成为一个真正大恶人，他马上这个炸弹要炸飞很多人，伤及很多条性命了。但是这样的他也是因为这个环境所铸就的吧，就是这样的他还能得到原谅吗？我真的还是非常非常心疼里面的每一位角色。好在马上下个月就要有第2季了，我不用等很久，已经迫不及待要看了。这一季真的是看得我非常的喜欢，我很后悔就是没有早看。我之前虽然听到了一些好评，但是一直没有打开，但是我觉得这个时机也为时不晚吧。真的很庆幸看到这一部很独特，就是文戏打戏都做得如此，制作得如此好的这么一部作品，包括里面的音乐我也很喜欢。自从看了 Powder 他高举烟雾弹那一集，我就一直在听他那首就是让我浑身起鸡皮疙瘩的Guns for Hire， 我真的太喜欢这首歌了。就是虽然 Arcane 它真的贡献了非常多特别棒的配乐，特别棒的曲子，这首绝对应该是我心中的第1名。我还是很期待下一季就是音乐上会给到我什么更多的惊喜。那这一季就告一段落了，非常感谢大家的陪伴，我们下一季再见，拜拜。